Captain's log. As previously reported in my notes, already had to liberate some Americans from dangerous situations. I also had to report an incident to security. It was a very ugly situation. A man confused me for a prostitute and then tried to solicit me. And to this very minute and hour, I'm still not sure if he was trying to flirt with me. He seemed genuinely confused by the security detail and the request for him to leave the premises or face arrest. You know, American mating habits really do fascinate me. But I digress. Just stare at the pretty half-assed graffiti on the wall. You know, when you're from the Mission, when you've lived in Oakland, it's really difficult to look at this shit. Tell you what though, friends, no matter how drunk your friend gets when you are a designated driver, just remember that earlier in the evening, you took an oath to protect their lives, no matter how wasted they got or ridiculous they behaved, up to and including refusing drinks when you knew that you were, probably having too many if you're going to call yourself the designated driver, especially in a litigious state like Texas. Now, I don't know about you folks, but killing the birthday girl and or risking arrest on her birthday, it's not my idea of being a good friend. It sounds like they're playing bored. Good thing I've heard that song so many times I don't care about it anymore unless Gino's actually performing it live. In which case I'll probably just go to the bathroom to throw up anyway because like, oh my god, Gino. Hashtag I'm with Gino. You know, I have to say I really appreciate all of the measures that Facebook is taking to protect the very vulnerable populations that now use it as a support system or whatever, what have you. I think they're starting to recognize that some of their features were triggering PTSD in our veterans and other afflicted Americans. And it's a pretty common disorder. It's probably underdiagnosed. And there are many PTSD-like dissociative disorders that can be passed hereditarily. I read, through modeling of behavior, you learn to be an anxious person. I read a book called The Myth of Sanity, for fun, I guess. I know, right, nerds? In 2013, I believe it was. And it one of the case studies was of a woman whose grandparents had survived the Holocaust. Not her mother, not her grandparents. And she was so traumatized of the images of the burning descriptions of charcoaled bodies and the smell of human flesh that she could not sleep at night. She could hardly think enough to finish a nursing program. And she had dreams of being a doctor. This is not to say that nursing is not a valued and esteemed profession. However, one can become a nurse in 4 years and one cannot become a doctor in 4. That is to say, she was so traumatized by her grandparents' experiences and probably had a few metabolic issues as well that contributed to her anxious state due to the stress. Okay, the Hungarians are another great example of this. Audrey Hepburn being one of them. American immigrants, I should say, I'm sorry. We do try to take care of our immigrants in America, don't we? That she could not, returning to the Jewish patient, she could not focus enough for 4 years to complete any kind of baccalaureate program. With a mind like hers, that's a waste. And I have a funny feeling that a lot of really valued American minds, both immigrant and otherwise, service-oriented and otherwise, are being laid to waste, either because they commit suicide too young, they have years of life lost, productivity and stuff like that they lose to disability. And that is really killing our economy. We need immigrants because half of our population is either disabled or applying for disability. We are sick. And it's because of things like this. Yeah. This might look cool to you, but I'm killing myself. My father survived lung cancer. My grandmother survived skin cancer. My uncle was not so lucky. 1 out of 3 are not good odds. I wish I could quit. I'm addicted. Over and out.